create really the driver one. That okay. If you like to create with the account manager or whatever, let's do that. Let's create an account manager here. It's really nearly nothing here. When we do this, it just create a little bit feeding of database, just like something that you try to access from a server or whatever. Okay, so here is just a list of account. And okay, let's just create a constructor. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply do a operation. I do an add. Okay, really nothing here. I create a driver. It's the broker main. I like to have the main function. So here is you are going to read the input. So let's do this account manager. And then what we are going to do, we read the files here. Okay. We do scanner. See input. So what's the file name that we have? Did I list one? Transactions.txt. Okay. Then we will, continue to read the input. Do you folks have problem reading the input file for this one? Was this a problem for you folks? So what we can do is we can simply do let's do an infinite loop. Okay. Oh, let's do this. Let's don't do infinite loop. Because if we look at this would be in different lines. I just do have next line. Okay, continue to have new lines. So what I'm going to do is I will first read in the operation. Read in the first one. We say, okay, the first one has to be a start. Okay, that's really, the dummy part. Okay, and for you folks, if you learn compiler, that's where you are going to do a match. Okay, you expect a start and you are going to match a start. If there is no start, you are going to complain something wrong. But this is not a compiler class. I'm not going to worry about that at all. I'm just going to simply ignore a start. Okay. We say string start marker is equal to input dot next line. Right. And then the next one would be the name, right? You get the name, and then you are able to create an account at this time, right? You are able to create an account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an account. With the name that you just read in. Okay? And after this, that will be a list of transactions. Okay? That will be a list of transactions. Okay? So what I'm going to do here would be read the next line in. You see while op in fact, I do not like to be end. I will say as long as it is not equal to the end, I will continue. Okay? And what you are going to do, you have the op already, and then the next one is the ticker. That will be the ticker. And then next one would be the amount, right? The shares that you are going to buy. Okay. Because that is guaranteed. That is guaranteed. So let me see. If it is deposit, we will not have the ticker, right? We will not. Okay, we need to be careful here. We say if op dot equals deposit, do something, else do this. I'm going to read in the ticker. Okay. Let me take this out. Okay. Do this. By default, let's make the ticker to be cash. So I don't worry about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a price. By default, I'm going to set the price to be 1. When you have this, you would have a share. And when you do the deposit, the shares is equal to what? I'm going to do integer dot parse int with input dot next line. Okay, I'm going to read the amount that you have. That's the shares that I have. Created, I read in ticker. Then the next one is the shares. So the shares would be the same thing. The next one would be what? Would be a price. Okay. After that, I will do just transaction. Process. What? The transaction. A transaction. What's the transaction? Transaction of the op. Create a transaction of the op. And based on that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this transaction dot set the price is the price. Transaction dot set the ticker is the ticker. And transaction dot set the amount is the shares. I'm going to process transaction. Okay? Does that make sense to you? And after this, I'm going to read a new line, which would be an op again. It will go back here. If it is equal to end, we will get out. We will get out. If it is not op, if it is not end, we will continue this process. Okay? If it is equal to end, if we have the next line, we would come here, and that will be the start marker. Okay? So hopefully, this would be okay. And for this one, after I processed all these, what I can do is I can just have this account manager add the account. Okay? And if you like to quickly see what's going on here for each account, you can just print it out. And let's go back to the account and create a toString. That's what we need. So it would be the account name, right? Followed by a new line, followed by positions, followed by realized profit. Positions. And I need to come back here and I go a position. For position, I create a toString method that would be the number or not even number. It's shares, number of shares, right? And you would have the ticker. So in fact, this would be bad. This would be just ticker plus. Let's do a tab here. Plus the share. Let's add a new line. Okay. That's it. And what we can do is we can do a quick testing. Create a new file, and text file. I'll come back here. Oh, it's long. Be very, very careful. Whenever you have this type of text file, okay, be very, very careful. Remove all this. Okay, good. Long guide. Throw it away. So the input is a little bit messy. John Smith deposit. Did I do any typo like in the operation that we have? You need to make sure that's correct. I think you folks can do a better job than me doing this, right? You should be. So it's very, very important. You need to be very, very detail oriented if you want to really get this correct. Yeah. Let's save it. And the name is called transactions.txt. Good. Come back here. Try to write one time. Okay. So what's going on here? Okay, something. Let's go back. Okay, let's do the account. We have account name. So the account name looks like it was not set correctly. let's do account name. Oh, it's not a surprise, right? I never set the name here. It will be account name, in fact. So the position is here. That will be a list. So what we need to do is let's do one at a time, okay? So now you would say the names get printed correctly, right? And here, let's look at the account. And let's do a little bit. I like to see what's the size first before I. So, what's going on here? Let me. Let me add a little bit something. Okay, try to. So positions, yeah, there's only one, so definitely it looks like there's something wrong. Okay, so let's take a look here. And I like to come back here. So while this one has blah 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 blah, and we have transactions, we made a transaction. Let's do this. Let's try to see whether or not we get a transaction. Okay, let's come here, transaction. Let's add a transaction to string. Okay, and then save it. Come back to broker command. Every time we create a transaction, it's right here. You set up everything. Let's try to see whether or not we get the transaction correctly. If not, we need to fix the problem right here. If we get it correct, we need to fix the problem in their account. Okay? So that's where you are going to identify the problem. Is the transaction correct? That's correct, right? So now you are, is that correct? You deposit more cash? Yeah, I think that all the transactions are correct when you look at those, okay? So now you would know that the problem is not in the driver program. I don't have to worry about it. I go back to the account, I try to figure out what's going on here. So we will look at the process. And based on these three different operations, we are going to do something. And here, what's wrong? What's wrong? Do the find. I know what's wrong. Folks, do you know what's wrong? Do you know what's wrong now? So now you would say, okay, there are 3 positions, and here there are 4 positions or whatever. Okay? And now we would be able to really print this account out. So you will see there's cash, you have IBM, Microsoft. And for the previous one, you have cash, IBM, Microsoft, Google. Something is wrong, right? Is that correct? Let's get rid of the broker main, because that one is very, very annoying. So when you look at this, is cash correct? No. What's wrong? Where it is wrong? Do you know where it is wrong? Do you know what's wrong? What's going on wrong in the program? When you look at this, I go to the account, okay, and what I'm doing here is I have a sale, okay, and what sale means? A sale, you are going to calculate the realized profit, okay. But at the same time, what you need to do is you need to add this account value. You don't have to keep track of this, okay? Here, there's something that you don't have to keep track. But for a purchase, where's the purchase? The buy? You add the transaction. The transaction is not free. You need to pay to buy. Okay? So what you need to do here would be what? Here that will be for one that will be essentially deposit a negative value, right? That will be deposit a negative value. But let's don't worry about that. So it's just positions dot get 0, because the cash is always the first one. Okay? Dot what? Decrease. What's the amount? The price, I said, is always 1. What's the amount, folks? Transaction amount times transaction price. If you don't do this, you are buying the shares for free. Okay? And let's run it again. Did not get it correct? Let's see. Positions, get 0. Decrease. Now we need to worry about the position. Decrease. And cost per share. For this one, we don't worry about the cost, right? And let's see where we put that's the real special thing for the cash one. Where we store the value for the cash? Let's go to account, okay. we create a partition 0 so that's in the shares part. Okay, let's just do a quick editing here. So the account, we don't do the decrease. Let's do, that's a partition. Okay, that's a partition. Because we use the shares value for that. Okay, we use the shares value. Okay, so it will be dot set shares is equal to what? Let's do this. Double cash is equal to double cash is equal to this partition 0, get the shares, okay, and then when you set the shares, it will be cash minus these two. Okay, now for this, each of the partition when you try to output, and that's the shares, and that will be fine. Now come back, do it again. Was my old calculation wrong or this one is wrong? Was my paper wrong? The paper was correct, right? Okay, let's try to figure out. At least now you know that something is going on here. Okay, that's good thing. You know that something is going on. And let's go to the account. We find the partition. We buy something. We do this. And we deposit this one can be problematic. This guy is problematic, right? Yeah, whenever we do deposit, it's always a problem. Let's just do a let's don't do this one. Let's do a quick and dirty solution here. Yeah, because we can simply do this. Because you want to deposit, and we know that the cash is the first one. That's whenever we create a new account, we create the cash, and here that's the shares that you have, and when you do the deposit, that will be what you have, right? The old cash value and the new one, right? Folks, everybody is following? Come back again. Still the same? Did I save the? Okay. We need to do this. It's no problem. What we need to do is we come back here and we will look at each and every step. after each and every step, and we know what's going on. And when you look at this, the account have a two-string. That's a convenient say for you to have a two-string. Okay? Now, I'm just going to do this. To indicate, okay? And I'm going to come to broker main. After each step, I like to print that out. So this is process transaction. After each step, I like to print it out. Okay? In practice, okay, you need to do unit testing. But this problem is pretty small, and you don't need to do. You can just use some print statement simply to verify that what you are getting is correct. Okay? Good. Now, look on the top. Is the first one correct? Is the first one correct? Absolutely correct. Deposit this much money. Is the second one correct? The buy is correct. Okay? Is the third one correct? It is correct. You bought 20. Yes, that would be 4,200, and that would give you 58. Okay? And then the next one, which is sale, really that's wrong. The sale we didn't add. Okay, we didn't add. So let's come back. Right. I mentioned that, then I didn't follow on that one. Sale. Okay, do a quick one. Cash, position, get shares. Cash plus transaction, get amount. Yeah, right? That's it. And go back, run again. Wow, something wrong happened here. What's wrong here? Didn't get updated. You sold 5 shares of IBM You sold 5 shares of IBM. That translates to $900. And later you said sell another time. So from here to here, something is wrong, right? Is that correct? Account. After you sell, we set the shares, we get the cash, transaction. That's the price that you have. Anything wrong? Looks like this one didn't go through, in fact, because after the sale, looks like the share didn't get decreased. Let's look at this decrease. Cost per share, the cost. Yeah, the number of shares didn't decrease at all. This dot shares. I need to do a minus. right? Did you get it? So because the share get decreased because when you make a sale, okay? And let's do it again. And here, what's going on here? Oh no, that's Elizabeth Taylor here. Oh, the sale never went through, huh? Look, IBM. I have 10 shares, right? Here. After that, oh, this is before, this is after. Every time it is 10 shares. That's one problem that we have. Okay, the decrease of shares looks like. Look, I have the amount. I have the price. Let's have a little bit more information here, okay? I have this one. I have this. Let's do this transaction, okay? So that we can make a correspondence. Transaction, deposit, correct, right? Buy 10 shares of IBM, correct. Buy 100 shares of Microsoft, correct. Sell 5 shares of IBM, it's not correct. Look, did I do some copy and paste and I forgot to change something? Is that the case? I have a buy, I have a sell. Oh, darn it. I've been working on this. I know that something is wrong. Did you see the difference? Did you see what's going on? Okay? So you need to be careful here, okay? That will solve the problem. All you have to do is just take the debugger's information out, okay? And make the format correct, and that's it. Okay?